How's it? How's it, Indian Cowboy? Your YouTube live show for Saturday. I'll let everybody kind of file in here, and then we'll talk about some ball games here. And yeah, whatever Saturday ball game that you want to talk about. And I just finished the daily video for you, so be sure to check that daily video out. We're going to be talking about there. We talk about Boise State and Oregon State, so be sure to check that game out when you get a chance. And I just put it up for you, so go ahead and check that. I hope you guys are doing well. We'll talk about whatever games that you guys want to talk about. What I'm doing now is I'm uploading the video that I just did for you on Boise State, Oregon State. So feel free to pop in here and talk about whatever games that you want to talk about. And normally I don't come on Saturday morning or Saturday afternoons or mornings, but we try to do a live show every day, at least until we work on some YouTube Premium stuff. But uh, but yeah, I hope you guys are doing well. Let me upload the video real fast. Go ahead and pop in all the games that you want to talk about, and I will be happy to talk about all of those games that you'd like to talk about. By the way, we had a phenomenal day yesterday. We swept the board, or at least on Thursday in college football. So we're super excited about that. And we will start talking about it as soon as I can put our video up for today. And how's your Saturday going? What games are you guys talking about today? Let me put our video up real fast so people on Twitter, at least, they get, sometimes people get our videos on Twitter as well. So I want to make sure they get our videos too, and then we'll start talking about all of the ball games. So all right, so the video is up on Twitter as well. All right, let's talk about the ball games. What games do you guys want to talk about here? All right, so first game here is I cannot talk about the Arkansas game. I will be doing a live show for the NFL, but I'm going to do it on at nights, so Saturday night. Normally, the live show is at night at 10 p.m. Eastern, right? And normally I do a daily video. I just put up our daily video actually, so be sure to check it out. But I cannot talk about the Arkansas game because that's our 7 unit selection. But I can talk any other game. So Travis, hello. Hey Jackson, good to see you. Casey, good to see you. Sunala, good to see you. All right, Travis Fontaine. Let's talk about the that Memphis Mississippi State game. So Memphis Mississippi State. I absolutely love the SEC in general, as you know. But I wanted to point something out in the Memphis game. Note that the Memphis game total is at 57 and a half. Mississippi State is favored by 16 and a half. The public is on the over in this game. You have a Memphis team that rolls in, beating Tulane last year, losing to Houston as well. Mississippi State lost at Texas Tech 7-34, and they lost to Ole Miss 21-31. I personally don't think that, first of all, every time you have Mississippi State as a heavy favorite, they covered. Tennessee State last year 55-10. Kentucky, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say Kentucky. Vanderbilt 45-6, right? So whenever they're a heavy favorite, they traditionally do very well. I don't see them looking past Memphis at all. And I want to say something else too. If you go back to last year in 2021, 2022, and you look at that games, you have they barely beat Louisiana Tech 35-34, if I'm not mistaken. And I don't think they will look past Memphis at all. I think this will be an opportunity for them. And I honestly think that it goes Mississippi State and it goes under. But my first lean, of course, is going to be on the side. And I lean on Mississippi State for what it's worth because of what happened last year. And the fact, the way that Mississippi State closed, Starkville hasn't had a win in back-to-back weeks there for what it's worth. Okay. Hey, Al, good to see you. Hey, Steven, Ohio State, please. Steven, I like Ohio State, and I like Ohio State to rout them. Okay. Let me make sure the other two games that we're on so I don't give away our football premium picks. I don't want to upset our football premium clients. A lot of other games to talk about here. It is on Cincinnati, Arkansas, and Utah, Florida. So I can't talk about those two games, but I can talk about anything else. So as it relates to Ohio State, look, Ohio State started off last year shaky. I think they're going to be motivated. I think Notre Dame's got too many moving parts. It's a great public fade. Everybody is on Notre Dame to the tune of 65%. Ohio State wants to kill them and kill them well. And therefore, I like Ohio State because no way they look past this team. I like the 16 and a half. And maybe Notre Dame shows up here. I love their coach, but I just think it's too young, too soon. And Ohio State, this game is likely, if you look at the total on this game too, it's at a 59 and a half. It's not as high as you thought it would be, right? And given the fact that, you know, Ohio State had a horrible game against Utah and then came all the way back. They didn't start out last year that well. And I think that Ohio State is frankly too quick on the edges, and therefore I like Ohio State. So lean on Mississippi State, lean on Ohio State. All right. Moving on here. Hey, Caples, good to see you. What do we think about the Tampa Bay Rays? Well, let's see. So the totals is 7.5. Yankees are actually a dog, lost 0-9 and 2-3. So they're going to be motivated, right? But I don't know. They've lost 4 of 5. They've only scored, 6 runs in 4 of their 5 games. I'm not counting the Angels game where they scored 7. But basically, in their 4 of 5 losses, they've scored 6 runs, which isn't good. They only had 5 hits yesterday. The Rays are doing well. They've won 8 of 10. They still have 6 less raw wins than the Yankees, but a pretty nice win yesterday. You have Clark Schmidt here facing the Rays. How did he finish against the Rays last time? He's a relief pitcher. Traditionally, he's done pretty well. 3 innings, 1 hit, no runs. But he went 4-8-4, 4 innings, 8 hits, and 4 runs against Oakland. Not a good start. So he's looking to bounce back. He was actually a 196 favorite in that game, which is not good. He's looking to bounce back. His team's lost back-to-back games. How does Corey Kluber pitch? Against the Yankees, he lost in 10 innings, 6-4-2, and he lost him before then too, 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 runs. He seems to always go 6 innings, 4 hits, and 2 runs. Gave up a lot of hits against Boston, 8 and 3 home runs. I like the under a lot. Between the Rays and the Yankees. Kluber off 3 home runs. He's lost to the Yankees twice. Tampa Bay, that's the Tampa Bay pitcher. The Yankees pitcher comes off a horrible start in his last start, and he wants to be able to prove himself as a starter. His team comes off back-to-back losses too. Both teams motivated. Makes sense. Like the under so far. All right. Moving on as we try to keep this within 15 minutes. Rams, Bills. Hey, Jesse. Good to see you. Jesse's been with us for a long time, man. Great guy. Great. Yeah, I've always seen him on the chat box. So you want to know about the Rams and the Bills, and I believe that is next week. I could be wrong. September 8th. So here's the thing. I don't know what our premium plays are going to be, so don't judge me on this. But right now, as it stands, I sort of like the under in this game, but it can change, right? It can entirely change based on so many factors in 1 week. But I do like the under in this game. I think no one has given the Rams a chance, and I think their strength is their defense, and they're going to play pretty strong defense. And I think the Bills or actually defense gave up 42 points to the Chiefs when they closed out last season. So their focus is going to be on defense too. The Bills have given up 21 points or less in their last 4 of 5 games. And therefore, as of now, it can change. But I do like Buffalo and the Rams under. When we do these live shows, 90% of our stuff stays exactly the same. It doesn't change. But sometimes it changes. So just keep that in mind. I'm letting you know. Hey, Andres, good to see you. College football is here. It certainly is. Hey, Steven, good to see you. Hello, Ray John. Hello, Matthew. Matt Williamson has been with us a long time, too. Hey, Jonathan. Houston and USTA. By the way, if you get a chance, be sure to like this video if you enjoy the content. So, Houston. Yeah, so it's funny, right? Total is only 3.5-point favorite for Houston. For the 25th ranked team in the nation, you're only a 3.5-point favorite. It's kind of odd. Have these two teams met before? Not since 2014, so that's irrelevant. Houston beat Auburn 17-13 in the last game. You have a UTSA team that's not good on defense, 31-45, 41, 38 points. But when they face good teams as an active underdog like Western Kentucky last year, it was 49-41, and it went way over. Every time they're a small dog, again against Western Kentucky, it was 52-46. When they're a small dog, they have a tendency to go over, and I like them to be an active dog, and therefore I like Houston, and that is why Houston's only a 3.5-point favorite, because UTSA is going to flip and show up today is my guess, and therefore I like Houston, UTSA over. Okay? No leans on the UFC card right now. We'll go one more game here. Hey, Eric, good to see you. Again, Sunala, I cannot talk about Arkansas and Cincinnati. It's our 7 player. Our clients will be disappointed if I do. Delia, good to see you. Hey, Jimmy O, good to see you. Let's talk about Oregon, Georgia. Okay, so we'll talk about that game. Moving on to Oregon and Georgia. Oregon, Georgia. So Georgia finds itself as a 16.5 point favorite. Kind of reminds you of the Notre Dame game. But, it's interesting because Oregon's head coach is obviously Dan Lanning, who used to coach where? At Georgia, which I find phenomenal because then what does Kirby Smart do to his former assistant, or does the assistant have an edge here? Oregon comes off a 32-47 loss against Oklahoma and Utah, but I want to tell you something here. Oregon is actually the 12th ranked team in the country. Okay, this is very different than the Ohio State Notre Dame game, and the total is at 54.5. And I actually think Lemming is a defensive minded coach as well. And the last time these two teams played, I mean, not these two, but Oregon gave up 47 and 38 points the last two games they played, right? I think both these teams will come out pretty tight here. And I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see Oregon and Georgia go under because of the familiarity Lemming has against the University of Georgia. All right. So I want to recap here. And if you want to know the analysis in detail, hop on over to earlier in this video. We always try to keep it within 15 minutes to make it good. But the leans are Mississippi State, Ohio State, Tampa Bay and the Yankees under, Buffalo and the Rams under, Houston and UTSA over, and Oregon and Georgia under. There you go. All right. I hope this was useful today. For what is my favorite beer? My favorite beer is Mike's Hard Lemonade, which is what I'm drinking now. I like Mike's Hard. I like Heineken. I like Yingling a lot. Those are my favorite. Yo, question. If you release something, for example, at plus 6.5, I never, ever recommend buying the hook. I think it is a trick. Just like I recommend don't play parlays. It's hard enough to win one wager. Nevertheless, winning two wagers to win one ticket. I don't recommend buying the hook. I don't recommend doing parlays. I don't recommend doing teasers. Do you know how Vegas has built more and more casinos? It's because through this thing called parlays and teasers and hooks. I personally don't believe in it. I think that is about it. So there's your go. Mississippi State, Ohio State, Tampa Bay, New York Yankees under, Buffalo Rams under, Houston, UTSA over, Oregon, Georgia under. Those are all the games that you guys chose. Hope you guys are doing well. I will do a live show tonight. Goal is 10 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully I'll see you there. Hopefully you enjoy the content, and I will see you tonight. Take care. And I've already put out the daily video, so be sure to check that out. We talk about the free play between Oregon State and Boise State. It's a good selection. And I also give you another lean as well. Take care, fellas.